now that you're creating more intricate programs, it may be a good idea to learn about commenting. Now, commenting is not code. For example, let me write a comment for you right now. This is a comment. So comments are created by using a double forward slash, and you'll notice the text is highlighted in green. This line of text is not code. Your computer is ignoring this text. It's not going to try to run this text and execute it as code. It is simply for the viewer of your code. So that could be someone else who is helping you with your code. But maybe more importantly, it could be for yourself. So as you start to create more complicated code, you may want to include these little anecdotes, these little comments to help you understand what it was you were thinking. In the case that maybe you've left the program and you've come back to it another day and now you kind of forget. So we were just talking about timers. So maybe when I click this button, I want to enable my timer because my timer is disabled by default. So it's not going to turn on unless I turn it on with my code. So maybe I'm writing code and I really want to make sure that I understand what this code does in the future. So I'll leave a comment. This turns the timer on. Now, we all probably know that turns the timer on. This isn't a very complicated piece of code, but let's try something new. I want to turn the timer on, but I also want to change the interval, and I want to make my timer tick in 5 seconds. So that means I have to change the interval property of my timer. And if I want it to be 5 seconds, I don't set it to 5. I have to set it to 5,000 because the interval is measured in milliseconds. So maybe this would be a more appropriate line of code to leave a comment on. I could say, this will make the timer tick every 5 seconds. So if I ever forget what this line of code does, the comment is right above it and it's nicely formatted in English, not in machine learning code, so that I can understand what this line of code does. You don't have to comment everything, but just so you're aware of what comments are, they can be of great help to you in the future when we start to create really complicated code, and it kind of helps you keep yourself on track.